Hey, what's going on, the YouTube? It's SEL0320 representing JVSO. This is my review for episode 4 of Cloak Dagger Season 1, Call and Response. I gotta say, man, this show is actually really good. I think that the direction and the way that the progression throughout this episode was just so heavy and weighted because all the different cards were just thrown out the last episode. Like, they got to see fully who they were to each other without them actually meeting. And this episode is a reconciliation of that. Like, okay, you have this issue when it comes to your dad because of your guilt. Okay, you have this issue because of your brother because of the guilt that you have, but what is the meat underlying all that? And I thought that it was perfect that the very beginning of the episode is what goes and interweaves throughout. Like, they had this really dark and deep conversation about their powers, about who they are, about reconciliation, and also at the same time they triggered each other. Like, by the end of the conversation, like, they really didn't leave in a good place. But I think that the best part of accountability is somebody that'll tell you the truth without something that you really want to actually hear, and that's what they are to each other, which makes their relationship and their friendship so special. But then the way that they interwove those conversations was kind of like a flashback to a progression, because throughout, like, their conversation they had the next day, they went and did different things. Like, Tyrone went to the police station to go and try to deal with this, to try to push himself, motivate himself to do this. She went and tried to give man Greg a chance. And at the same time, they're still dealing with their inadequacy complex on the inside. Tyrone found out something interesting about his dad that I was just like, that took me back. I was like, yo, first off, Tyrone came off real incorrect, man. Like, I was like, dog, like, if you said that to the wrong dad, you would have got popped. Like, I was scared for the man. I didn't know where he was going. I was like, you gotta take him to the hood and show him what this really looks like. And yet they showed him something even deeper about himself, and it pointed him to something that is gonna work in his comic book lore in the long term. Then on Tandy's side, like, her trying to deal with her mom and let her know, like, okay, well, I want to help, but yet, why are you with this dude, Greg? He ain't no good. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, the past few episodes wouldn't lead me to believe that Greg was somebody that was worth anything. Like, I saw them strung out, literally using all her money to get high. You know what I'm saying? So you find out other things about Greg, and it's like that surprise in the third act. I was like, yo, did they really just do that to my man Greg? So that threw me off, but it was like, you realize that the conversation that they had, like, that happened in the very beginning of the episode, the beginning of the night before. And then leading up to the end of this episode, and you realize they motivated each other to do what they needed to do. They're pushing each other, like, even though their powers work symbiotically, they also push back. And they need that right now. They need somebody to tell each other no, and they need somebody to help them point and direct. But at the same time, they're not alone anymore. And I think that's one of the things that I thought was very fascinating about their conversation while they were in the church. And I can't wait for them to re-interact again. I saw the preview for the next episode. I'm real surprised that this is a really good show. But anyway, yeah, 10 out of 10 episode for me. Hope y'all enjoyed this review. Keep you locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Reaction will be coming up very soon. Peace, guys.